Alright, I'm back. I got my stream going again.
It's all ones and twos and shit in this. Miller, what is this, like a reversal right here?
Yeah, I was about to tell Chronic about that. It is a, I would be sure at the top of this micro range.
Yeah,
And
that's what it looks like.
yeah, and maybe obviously I can get a full move to the downside, but at least I can take the micro range.
You
Yeah.
could be
So
getting
trading
fucked
like
up
for
on it.
yeah, obviously. I mean sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But rather than a reversal, seems more than a blue, to be honest with you, Cat. Because it's a perfect structure, it's a perfect rectangular. And when I see something like that, and it is a concept taken from you, I mean, a perfect blue, I would be more leaning to go to the upside. But in the prior, like B type of price action, that was more of a reversal. I don't know. It sounds. I don't know if you guys can understand what I'm trying to say
So what
here.
you're saying, it's a reversal if it doesn't have that perfect shape. If it's like
Exactly.
a okay.
Exactly. Exactly. So, okay, let me.
God, this is like all this trading is like 3 lots and 1 lots and shit. There's barely any larger traders hitting. Something happened where a bunch of them just hit together at once. They're fucking fighting the fuck out of each other right here. It's probably gonna stay in this slip range right above us.
Uh, Kat, could you please a little bit watch the stream messages in Dojo?
Hold on, I'm watching this fucking market. Give me just a
Okay.
minute. Picked up another fucking tick. I can't get nothing more than a fucking tick. Let me see what you're saying. What, the dojo chat or which one?
Yeah, Dojo.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Miller. I'm long biased
Well,
here.
this one's ugly, so this must mean it's gonna go down, right? This micro
Mm,
range.
I would be more leaning to the upside here
Really?
because we're compressing. Yeah, compressing to the upside. We are rejecting the lower reclaims, at least in my interpretation, and we are attacking in my interpretation again, a very powerful liquidity pool here at 38.
I'm gonna try a
Yeah.
long here, 34.50.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure I like it.
Did you get it?
No, I misclicked. Pulled it.
Try
This is like
to trade just the micro range, Chronic.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, be careful.
there it is. picked up like 5 ticks. You know what's interesting? What's happening is they are not.
Knowing that complete contentment with small size is how you survive in the game.
They are not trading like more than 10 lots. All this shit is sub 10 lot. All this, most of it, and then there's a point where they start to trade 10 lots, like a lot, where they're sweeping, and then it seems to be going back in those sections.
Becoming the smartest insect of them all.
Just all like,
Not making one
I don't know what
mistake.
they're gonna do here.
Being content with all the training and practice. Blue Angel. Imagine all of
It's like this 36 section.
must have
Bigger traders are kind of coming in and out of
so
it.
much training. That is the real profit.
I'm looking for
Oh.
like a 3450 long.
Before you know it,
Bigger traders, they might overshoot 3450.
Yeah, I want to be on the right side of the V. Wait for a little bit of confirmation.
all you want to do is conservatively
I could see it working.
I'm gonna try it. 3475 filled.
just conservatively hitting, you see the pattern.
Just play out this slip range, like 3650.
Get him point.
Be proud of yourself as you've kept this account alive.
I know you're still in it. You need to be more aggressive.
Take it
But if
there.
you'd imagine
Touch, no fill.
hitting,
Just pull it.
imagine the
Don't
day
be too
of
greedy here.
celebration.
Still in it, aren't you?
Yeah, I took a break even.
Conversations you'll have about keeping
You gotta be.
alive.
That was aggressive.
Imagine the wisdom you will share.
That was way too aggressive.
Fat Cat's YouTube
Like,
channel.
The entry was fine, but you're just holding too much, man.
Yeah.
Just grind out. Just
I'm
grind.
so proud of how
You know?
much of shot out of the
Trying to get anything bigger than a point is just gonna be the death of you today.
This is your rite of passage as a trader. You must endure this. Seeing the holographic images of all the traders around you. They are all enduring the same thing or have endured it. This is part
You're
of
trading a shitload right here on these 35s.
you've chosen this path.
It's like this is the spot.
Your MO is obsessed with dominating and figuring out this game. You enjoy it not for the money, but for the challenge. You have great satisfaction in being able to do something so difficult.
Wait. Patient.
And as you get better, doing it with ease. Being content with scaling down. During high,
You're getting quiet. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just reflecting.
this is what keeps you
We'll take a moment. Don't worry about what's happening.
that survivability is the most
Like this environment's no joke. If you're wrong, because I already got slapped really quick. I'm still trying to dig out of a hole.
surviving and stacking.
Like you gotta get the scalp.
Or stacking. You are picking up nickels in front of a steamroller because it works. You know you are faster than the steamroller. You've felt the wrath of the steamroller. Disgusting. Aggressive trading is foul. aggressive trading. Disgusting. It is the smell of a rotting dead animal. It tears you apart on the inside.
34s has a lot of big traders
Thought
coming in.
of aggressive, nasty trading where you are becoming complacent. Coming back to nature, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, coming back into this field.
More big traders at 32. More big traders at 30s.
Out through the mouth.
Tried to get that long. Missed it. Big traders right below us.
Breathing in through the nose. Out through the mouth. You know, you see the patterns. This
Man,
is
that
a
pacing
type of
looked
aggression.
fucking ballistic.
You're finding the difference between sloppy aggression and controlled aggression. You know that trading is
Got a
balancing
short,
act
5 ticks.
on a tightrope. Where the blue angels flying,
Chronic, you're quiet.
they're riding a thin line.
Yeah, I just got my mic muted.
You're starting to find the trader balance.
You down?
What all traders must find.
Yeah.
The ability to
Okay, how bad?
control aggression,
Let's find out.
aggression in
250.
only on trades that are completely clear to you.
I think you need a drill.
Yeah.
If you are stopped out,
I'm here if you want to drill, Crank.
does not this
Yeah, have Miller help you, because he's having a
fact
better
with
time
you.
in this environment.
Imagine
Just drill with him, man.
getting
Yeah. Let me just get up and stretch my legs and shit. I'll be back.
Day of celebration. Slowing down time and looking at the celebration and looking back into the P&L. Realizing how many days had hit a stop. How many stops you've taken on this account. Realizing that it doesn't matter. Knowing that you have the ability to get out of it. Knowing that trading well means losing. Finding the confidence in your ability to get out of it because you have gotten out of it multiple times. Becoming completely desensitized. Feeling the thunderstorm in the distance. Feeling the fire burning inside of your chest. You are a pro athlete. You are the next legend that will trade the entire landscape of trading. You are the next trader will have books written upon them. You are the next market wizard, feeling the fire growing
Got a
inside
2
you,
lot long
knowing
at
you can
35.50.
fight
I couldn't get the whole
knowing
thing
that it
in.
requires hard work, pain, and turmoil, but finding the gratitude within it, knowing that this is your rite of passage, and that is what you enjoy how difficult it is. You enjoy being put in positions that would cause other traders to crumble, keeping your shit together. You are a professional trader. You are starting to realize what this really is about. You are having an awakening as if you are going into your first psychedelic trip as a trader. you are having a deep awakening of who you are and what this really is. You are a professional trader, and now you understand taking this moment to slow the fire down. Breathing in, out, coming back into this field. Hearing the wind, feeling the drops of rain touching your skin. There is a new holographic trader standing in front of you. It is the future version of yourself. This is the seven-figure Tronic. Imagine what he looks like. Keeping your eyes closed, you two start to talk telepathically.
Just absolute.
This version of yourself has been trying to tell you what you need to know. It has been trying to share a message with you.
All the big block traders were below us. I don't know if they're going to go down there again.
Feeling your heart pouring out to future Chronic. Feeling this love as if there is a marriage between yourself. Knowing what this truly is. It's never about the money.
Yeah, they're all trading the 35, 36s.
It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Being the model version of yourself.
37s.
Being the best version of yourself.
They could sweep right back down. I'm going to pulse check it. 37s.
All of these aspects pour into your
Down.
life outside of the trading room. This is beyond what you thought it was. But now you understand.
Well, I would have been right about 2 ticks. They fucking seem to fucking hit a big ass fucking piece of resistance here. There it goes. God, they're fighting like hell right here.
Kat, aren't you looking to take a possible break to the upside?
No, because I don't really know what the fuck they're doing. It's FOMC today, if I'm not mistaken, and they usually just range it.
Hmm.
I think they
Good
might
point.
stay in this whole fucking deal, but I don't fucking know what they're doing. Like,
Okay,
the
okay.
micro patterns are fucking shit. And they've been shit for a few weeks. I think, personally.
No, I agree.
And wherever these big block traders have been hitting, that's where it seems to be going. My thinking is they're gonna push this reclaim and shit down here. I know there were block traders in the 32s and shit. Goes. See if it goes down on just like one lots and shit. Couple of blocks on the 34s. Block on 35-25. .36s. I guess you're thinking along because of the liquidity, huh?
Yep, exactly.
The problem is it's like FOMC and that shit tends to like. I mean, if you really look at it, it's like playing breakouts today is kind of like you can be really wrong bad. Nothing's worth a shit other than a fucking couple of ticks anyways. All the blocks, see how they're starting to rotate?
Yeah.
Again. There's a lot of blocks below us. I think a lot of this order flow is just kind of bullshit. Blocks are 36, 35s, 34s. You might be right. Now they're really fucking trading blocks up here. Like mad crazy. Looks, you see that, dude? This looks like a bigger pattern of what you would normally try to trade. Like, it looks like a shitty fucking range above. Now they're gonna go try to test all the blocks below. Couple coming in right here. They're not finding many blocks in the 30 region. There they are a little bit. Now they're starting to come in a little bit. They're finding them. There you go. Can they hit 30s? Probably not. They're probably gonna just float right above it. They're fucking couple blocks coming in. Fuck, man. I'm sitting in the queue at 30. I can't get out. I'm pulled it. All right, I'm getting fatigued. I gotta step out. Hey, man, if you need to pay attention to Chronic. Yuki got tired. If Chronic comes back, if he's like
Okay.
real quiet, if he's really quiet, he's probably doing bad shit. Like just drill him, man.
Okay. Sounds good.
He's getting disappointed because he's just getting fucking lit up, and his account's not doing good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, sure.
Hello and welcome to a new video where we're talking about tips and tricks for Sierra Charts. Sierra Charts is the platform that I use to execute all of my trades as well as perform analysis. In this video, I just want to walk you through some of the things that I've learned over the years while using this service. Things that if I knew in advance or that if I knew early on, it would have saved me a ton of time, a lot of frustration, and just a lot of energy. Sierra Charts is an extremely high quality, robust charting package that's professional grade, but it offers an insane amount of features, and navigating around, especially in the beginning, can be kind of burdensome. And so in this video, I just want to share some really great tips with you that if you're using Sierra or if you're thinking about switching over, this will really be helpful. So make sure you stick to the end of this video and listen to all of these tips because each of these tips are extremely useful and you're not going to want to miss any one of them. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the first tip. And for this one, I don't need to jump into the charts, but I'm going to be talking to you about an insane feature that I wish I knew about years ago, if it was even available years ago, and it has to do with chart book definitions. Now, what you're seeing right there is a chart book definition. I have an assortment of charts all laid out in a very specific way, and that's called a chart book definition. Now, Sierra has a feature where if you have a layout for your chart, you can take that definition and share it with me. Once I have it, I can open it up and I can just instantly display exactly what you're displaying. Having access to a well put together, well-defined, intelligently laid out charting package is an insane benefit in setting up Sierra Charts and in your trading. To be able just to step into something that's just completely ready to go is awesome. And so what I want to talk to you about is a Sierra Chart user that I have no idea who this is, and I don't even know if I'm saying the name right, but it's Ticino Charts or Ticino Charts or Ticino Charts. I'll put a picture up on the screen so that you guys can see it and understand how to navigate to the site. But what's happening here, although I know nothing about this trader or any other service that's offered, one thing I know is that this person is a Sierra Charts wizard. And I don't say that lightly. I, after using this for years, consider myself in the top % of people that know about Sierra. I'll say it like this. There's 1% of the world, less than 1% of the world, that knows more about Sierra Charts than I do, which might sound a little bit more crazy until we break down. I'm sure less than 1% of the world even use Sierra, but I know what I said and I'm sticking with it. But when it comes to Ticino Charts, he's just at a completely different level. And he has this service where he offers a complete library of chart book definitions that are so intelligently designed and well laid out. They're like art. It's just like a thing of beauty. And what you can do is go through this library of just well built out chart book definitions and download the ones you'd like to add to your charts. I'm currently now using 2 chart book definitions from this user. And what you can do with this, if you're brand new and you don't really know anything about how to set this up or what you're doing, you can take them, drop them in, and just run with them. They're completely ready to go. And in some cases, they're even customized for certain products. So certain ones will be built out specifically for crude oil, certain ones will be built out specifically for the S&P, and you can just run with them. And then if you are more advanced with Sierra, and this is what I do, you can take one of these chart book definitions, peel out some of the things you don't want. You can adjust the settings of some of the things that you do want. But to make those adjustments to the skeleton that's already there is so much different than trying to recreate it from scratch. And I can tell you this, knowing a lot about Sierra, there's things that he does in these definitions that I would not be able to do. It's very far beyond my understanding of Sierra. It's at a different level. And if I had access to this, I wish I had access to this early on because it would have saved me an incredible amount of time trying to build things out. But then it also would have opened my eyes to a complete world of Sierra Charts that I didn't even know was possible. Things you could do that I had no idea they were even an option. Now, when I was introduced to him or when I stumbled across this, this was back on Patreon, is where he hosts his service. I believe he's moved off that now and he has his own site. Or she has her own site, however this works. But what's going on here is the service used to be £2 a month for access to the full library. And now it's been raised to where it's £4 a month for access to this library. And to get access to this for £4 is so cheap. It's stupid. Like, it is stupid cheap. And if you're using Sierra Charts, there's no reason to not at least go check this out. Because you can see on his site, there'll be a library that you can scroll through with images that show you what it is. And then if you find some chart book definitions you like, you can pay the fee, join, and then you can download them and just add them into your chart. So it's well worth the visit. I'm a huge fan of this user. I know nothing about their trading, nothing about the other things they offer. But when it comes to chart book definition, I respect the fact that these are so well put together, and I'm sure it took an insane amount of time and energy and effort, very thoughtfully created, sometimes recreating another feature that's offered from a different service. But at any rate, it's a thing of beauty, and I really respect the craft that goes into these things. You should go check it out yourself if you're using Sierra. It's worth a visit. Okay, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and jump into the charts for the next feature. Okay, now that we're inside the charts, the first thing I want to show you is also going to help with chart book definitions. If you're ever using a chart book definition from somebody else, a lot of times you'll populate it on your side, and the symbol might either be out of date, or it might not be the correct symbol for the data package you're using. Maybe the right product, but the wrong symbol. And so what you'd have to do at that point is go to each one of your charts, go into the settings, find the symbol, and then make that adjustment. And then if these aren't all linked together, you'd have to do that for each one of your charts. Now, on this one chart book, there's a lot of different charts here, and it's just a laborious process to have to go through and update each one. There's a fix for this. So if you're ever using a chart book definition from anybody, it populates on and it doesn't load, or it loads them and it's not the right symbol, or the symbol's already been expired, you need to roll them all over. Instead of doing it manually, you can go to Edit at the top of the screen, come down to Translate Symbols to Current Service. And once you press that button, it'll just readjust everything for you. It's a beautiful little feature, but I've spent a lot of time going through each one of my charts readjusting things. And if I would have known about that in advance, it's the push of a button. It populates everything. It'll make your life so much easier. Okay, this wasn't going to be the next feature, but let me just jump into this because it's just moved accordingly. And I'll talk to you about a tip where you can make the chart recenter in on the price. Now, when you're using multiple charts on one definition, what I used to have to do a lot is continually go through and double click and kind of make sure that price as it moved around would recenter so I could see where the current price was. It was a small thing, but I used to just constantly be doing that throughout the day until I found that there was a feature where the scale will happen automatically for you and it will bring it back to center. So if you're in your charts, you can right click on any of these right panes where the price is. If you right click on it and go to scale settings, there'll be a feature where you can constant range scale mode. You can go down to the very last one and it says recenter when the last bar exceeds a certain number of ticks from the center. It'll be 10 by default, but if you see in that top corner here how that chart just moved, that's what's happening. So you can set that up for however you want, and then as price moves around for all your individual charts, it'll just keep recentering the price for you so you don't have to manually just keep doing it throughout the day. Another small thing, but it really made my life a lot easier once I found out about that. Okay, I got out of order because it wasn't supposed to be the next one, but it was kind of moving, so I thought that was a good time to capitalize. Oh, the next thing I will tell you guys about, this little tip is very nice, especially if you close Sierra every night. I used to, and I still pretty much do, save my charts and close out of Sierra every night, shut everything down, and then reopen it during the next day. And what I used to do is open up Sierra, and then all the different chart books that I use, I would just open them all individually. Now, there's a feature in here that if you go to Global Settings and then go to this first tab, General Settings, inside of that, there's a lot of options here, but go to General 1 tab, the very first tab, and then there'll be a feature where you can enable files to open on startup. So you want to enable this, and then select the chart books that you use every day, add them to this list, apply it so it saves, and then press OK. Once that's enabled and that's loaded with the chart books you want, now every time you open up Sierra, it's automatically going to populate in order those chart books that you want. It's a super handy little
Turning care here.
It will just save you a ton of time day in and day out, especially if you close your chart books every day. You want to make sure that you just have those set up and ready to go for yourself. Okay, the next feature I want to talk to you guys about is setting up hotkeys. Now, hotkeys are something that you can customize for virtually every feature on Sierra. There's a ridiculous amount of combinations you can do. But if you're actively trading, there's a couple features that you should, in my opinion, have set up because it's going to save you a ton of time and energy. One of them is I do execute my trades right here on Sierra. And so for that feature, I have a hotkey set up where I can change the amount of contracts I'm using. I can erase any resting orders that I have in the book, and I can also flatten and cancel everything. So having those at my fingertips where I can do it very quickly gives me a competitive edge. If I had to, while actively managing a position, click multiple buttons to change my size or to click multiple tabs to eliminate orders that are resting, things would get bogged down and I would be making mistakes or things would slip through the cracks. But because they're just at my fingertips, I change the size, I erase things when I don't want them, and it really does give me a quicker, more competitive edge while we're trading day in and day out. If you're actively trading, especially executing through here, it would be very good to look into having that set up for yourself wherever's comfortable. I have the size of my contracts set up across the QWERTY part of my keyboard. So starting with Q being the smallest size, going all the way up to the Y. And then each time I press one of those, it incrementally gets larger. So I can just adjust things very quickly. Okay, the next hotkey that I would suggest you set up that will save you a ton of time and energy is using the way that you manipulate around your charts. So inside of the chart features, you can take one of the charts in your book and make it large or make it back to the scale you had it at. And what you can do is you can make a chart bigger, make it smaller, make it bigger, make it smaller. And by doing this, instead of pressing multiple buttons, I have this set up on a hotkey. So it just gets big, it gets small. It's set up on my keyboard as X and S. No control, no shift, no anything. Every time I'm on a chart, I press X, it gets bigger, S, it gets smaller for kind of like extra large, small is how I look at it. And what this allows me to do, because I'm using a lot of charts, some of them are rather small, if I need in some type of analysis or whatever I'm doing, if I want to zoom in on something, to have that ability to just pop it up, when I'm done with it, put it right back where it was, is very nice. And it's very nice that I don't have to actively push buttons. It's just boom, boom. So you can set that up where you can minimize and maximize and minimize your chart. You can set that up on a hotkey and it'll make it very convenient for you. And then the other thing you can do with your chart book definitions that I'd highly recommend is switching between chart books. If I want to switch between my chart books, I have to go to the top of the screen and click a button. I also have this set up on a hotkey so that I can just navigate around these very quickly, okay? Through doing analysis and through keeping an eye on multiple things at a time, it's very nice. Instead of going from watching this and having to maybe do certain things, come all the way back, switch back to this chart book, I can just populate back over anything that I want, scroll very quickly, all right? So I have that set up as A and Z right next to the S and the X. So when I'm doing this, I can go from these things back and forth, as well as making these things large to small. And all of this happens very, very quickly for me. And then all of that's right below the way that I manage my sizing of positions and exiting out of things. Okay, so it's just all set up there very conveniently. But if you take the time to just set that up now, day in and day out, the things you do very repeatedly, just put a hotkey on.
All right, I'm back. Is anyone there?
Preparation,
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
More efficient. And
Okay.
all of those little steps
So
over
how are you
the
feeling?
years, you're saving yourself
You know,
a ton of energy. And
another day. I don't feel great, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Something I noticed today is that maybe a little bit from the technical aspect of your system may be failing.
Yeah, I think so too. I need to rework my edge.
Yeah, man, because I mean, obviously I'm going to talk here from my experience and my system, right?
Mm.
So just take it like a little grain of salt. But I was watching your trading and I was like feeling that maybe, and that is happening, it's still happening to me, that in some occasions you are or just too early,
Yeah.
or in other occasions you are a little bit impatient about the trade and you don't let the price action pull back a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So,
think
for
that's true.
example, in this break even that you took, sorry, one tick loss to the left.
This one.
Those two are great to analyze. That one actually was a great trade.
Mm-hmm.
The problem being, quote unquote, you didn't have like the move right away, right?
Yeah.
Okay, something that I have at least to help me in those kind of situations, if we are putting a micro range that is supporting my entry. Why? Because that means we are rejecting the lower reclaims.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, when I was watching this trade, I was like pretty confident that at least you can get a point out of it.
Yeah.
Why? Because you see there's like a little range down there at your entry. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
can see it. Like, yeah, that one. So that micro range, at least for me, mean that you can enter long here with decent confidence and take some ticks out of it. The problem being that rather than being long here, I would be more to the short side.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being basically because these are reversal, or I call it PB price action or counter trend move. I mean, I have different sorts of names for that kind of price action. But basically, you have a situation where you put a kind of range after a steep move to the upside or to the downside.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly like that one to the upside, right? And then you go and start like putting a range, and the range is rejecting the upper reclaims. As you can see, you have a liquidity pool exactly there. So we are rejecting the upper reclaims, and at the same time, we are starting to take the lower reclaims because you could go straight to the downside. Yeah, exactly. And those bars are starting to go to the downside. Exactly. So that for me at least is kind of a confirmation to go short. So in your let's imagine that the price action has developed to your entry point. So that little micro range I was talking before, let's imagine the price action came there. So I just told you I was maybe, or I would be looking for going short in that position. Okay, so rule number one in this environment that I've came across. First is if you are in a possible reversal zone like this one, because we have all the structural needs, or structural requisites, I think is the word, to put a reversal. We don't want to be against the possible direction of the counter trend move. So if this is a possible reversal to the downside, we want to be more to the short side than to the long side, because we want the momentum or the price action to be on our side rather than being against the price action.
Mm-hmm.
And the rule number two is that you always let the price action pull back. Always, no matter what, you let the price action pull back, especially in steep moves. So that's the reason I was like a little bit surprised when you took the first full stop. I think you were, in my humble opinion, without wanting to, no, it was to, yeah, that one. In my humble opinion, and without any sort of disrespectful intention from my part, I felt like you were chasing it a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I would say that the idea was incredible good, but you didn't let the price action pull back. And yesterday, actually, one of my trades, the only bad, absolutely horrible trade that I took yesterday, was exactly a situation like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, man. I mean, I was going to the long side, and I didn't catch the move where I wanted, and I just FOMOing into this, just at the top of the move. And obviously, when the price action pulled back, I got scared. I'm out for 8 tick loss, 7 tick loss, and seconds after, like this exactly situation, like second afters, the price action give me a good entry, and I boom balance back to break even. So I would say those two are really good rules that have worked so far for me in this environment. If a reversal is possible, don't go against, or at least try not to put yourself in a situation where you are against the possible move of the reversal. So, like we talked a little bit ago, like if the reversal is like looking to the downside, rather try to go to the downside, at least to take the little range. If you can or don't feel comfortable or need to bankroll a little bit, try to go short but for distance of the micro range. So 1 point or 6 ticks or 3 ticks, whatever the size of the micro range, rather than try to push. But if you have like a little bit of room to breathe, yes, you can push for 12 ticks or 16 ticks, depending obviously of the size. And if you are chasing, and this is like, I don't know, you remember like a sleep or nothing, right?
Yeah.
So when we are in a trend, it is pullback or nothing, which is basically the same, but it's just to differentiate one from another. So yeah, I mean that I think is something you should like have an eye on it, because yeah, I mean that idea, that the one that we're talking right now, is basically a really good one, man. I mean it is. The problem is the entry,
Yeah.
and that happened like a lot
Yeah, it was
in
almost
your
every
session.
trade. Every single trade was a good idea. I was just executed poorly. Like even
Yes,
this
the
one was a good
execution
trade.
was not the ideal one. Can we go all the back to the first trade and try to do like a quote unquote review process?
So this one was my
That's
first
the
trade.
first one, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first one, and that's the one I told you why not to re-enter, right?
Yeah.
So look, the idea is just beautiful. The problem is you don't have a slip entry, and this is a reversal, basically, kinda
Yeah.
a reversal. Obviously, we're talking here in hindsight, but you can see that the price action went to the upside, but then it started to encounter like resistance. So it's not going anymore to the
Mm.
upside. It's rather taking to the reclaims left to the downside. Like it is actually putting lower highs.
Yeah.
So that is like the quote unquote confirmation, or at least a structure you're looking for when trying to get into a reversal. And it is exactly what you did. The problem is that you didn't have the confirmation.
Yeah.
So I mean that idea was absolutely beautiful, and my entry would be around what price is that 32, I think, is it 30, around that. Yeah, that exactly that one. That would be my entry again.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I have confirmation. Because imagine that the price action go a little bit to the left. Yeah, that one. Imagine that we are there. Follow the price action with mouse. So you're going to the downside, stop there, right? And I'm starting to notice that we may be putting a range. Like if you stop there and
Mm.
ignore all or everything that is to the right side, exactly like that, you can see that the price is putting like a little bit of kind of a range looking price
Mm.
action. So I would be like, okay, this is important. This is important because we may be in a possible reversal zone. So if we are in a possible reversal zone, I wanna be more into the reversal direction rather than against that. So if we go a little bit more to the right, developing the price action, yes. When I start to see the price action here pull back into the upside, exactly there, and the price action there, it's going to stall. It's going to be like quiet. It's not going to move anywhere
Mm.
because it actually counter resistant to the upside. That it is basically like buyers. Give me a moment, please. Sí, por favor. Gracias. Okay, so when we find something like that and the price action is stalling, that for me is the slip entry. Why is that? Because probably, we are not going to see a higher move.
Mhm.
So if we do a pullback to the upside and if we start stalling, that may be the slip entry.
Yeah.
So we go to the right side, developing the price action, and then. So the only quote unquote problem to that trade is that you were too early and
Mhm.
didn't have a slip entry, basically.
Sure.
But other than that, that was a beautiful trade. I mean, as A plus as one trade can be. That was beautiful, Chronic. The only thing is that, hey, wait a little bit more, patience, and have a slip entry.
Yeah.
And the second trade here, basically the only reason it failed is because you didn't wait
Hmm.
to have a slip entry. You didn't wait for the price action to stall. I mean, I think now that I'm talking about that I think is a critical concept to how I'm able to actually trade this environment without so much problems if everything is together and in a psychological good position and things work out for me. But it's basically because I'm all the time looking for micro ranges that mean resistance,
Yeah.
like the one that you have a little bit to the right. That one, now prior to the spike move up.
This one.
Sorry. After the second trade, that little micro range. Yeah, that one. Left with the mouse.
Oh, this one.
Okay, that one. To the right side, the little micro range. No, to
Oh,
yeah, that one. So basically, that little micro range, that would be my confirmation to do a reversal
Mm.
to the upside. You see, like if you draw a line to the downside from your entry point here, draw that one, draw it to the downside like a straight line, a trend line. Yeah, something like that, exactly. If the price action for some reason goes through it and it start messing around, but it is not following that line, we may be in a reversal position.
Mm-hmm.
And that is confirmed basically by the micro range. If we put a micro range, we are most probably like 80% certain that we are in a reversal. And my entry would be the bottom of the range if I'm obviously going long. So you see, I'm always waiting for this kind of resistance. I want the price to put resistance. Because in this environment, man, if you have resistance, probably the price is going to start slip ranging and I'm going to be at the bottom of the movement. Because if the price is stopped to move, it's not moving anymore, chances are the last price action before encountering that kind of resistance is actually the bottom of the movement or the top of the movement. So I want to go long at the bottom, obviously short at the top. Make sense?
That's a tough one, man. Because
Yeah.
for me, I need to internalize this information. So that means I need
I mean,
to talk about it.
Yeah.
For me, like going long after this huge trend is so hard for me to conceptualize. Like it's hard for me to justify going long here. But it makes sense, like because we're not going down anymore, you know.
Heck,
Like it
yeah.
should be continuing. It should be.
Yes.
It should
That
still
it
keep
shouldn't
dropping.
it shouldn't have those like ranges, right?
Yeah.
You see, prior to the first trade, you have like a kind of a range. I don't know if you can see it. Like,
Oh, prior range. So.
yeah, you see, like, it shouldn't be if we are in a downtrend. It shouldn't be a range.
Mm.
And if we put something like a range, usually we kind of see the price actually reversing, like it happened. You see?
Yeah.
And then the other range, like a perfect range after the second trade, and the price action actually reversed to the upside with quite a force.
Mhm.
Let's go to the next range.
Okay. So
Okay,
this
that one. That one, it is a good idea, and you basically execute beautiful. I mean, you have a sleep entry. I don't know if you can see the little micro range you have at your entry point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. That one for me is confirmation. Why? Because you have a sleep entry. The price is not going to the upside if you have that entry point. Like you see, almost perfect sleep entry. And why is that? Because you enter the moment the price action encounter resistance. Obviously, there are nuances to this. You obviously cannot enter at the first moment the price action stall or stop a little bit. You're entering. No, I tried that before and I been blown out by the price action. But I need to see 3, 4, 5 little candles in the 3-second chart. And that is for me confirmation,
Mm-hmm.
for example. And why here the trade workout and not in the first trade? Why do you think is that? Because it's almost like the same.
Yeah.
The entry, the plan to exit. Why this trade in a specific actually work out and not the first one?
Um, I guess because we have resistance up here.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, and in my words would be because we're in a range. It's kind of, I'm not so like rigid about what a range is,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, that's like a quote unquote range.
Yeah.
Like you can see, like there's a balanced one, so you are at top of range. So the price action was going to the upside, it found resistance and boom to the downside, and that's the reason I think, from the technical standpoint, um, that this trade actually work. And the first one, the only point is the lack of confirmation. But here you have a lot of confirmation because you already have, before this trade, two top ticks or, a double top. You can see it. Yeah, that one and the one to the left. You have there confirmation that the price doesn't want to go, any more further, um, a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So that is kind of a validation of the range. So you can play the range, short at the top, long at the bottom, all that stuff. Um, yeah, but we can go to the next one. Okay, here you see why or yeah, I mean, in the words I'm trying to explain you, and obviously you don't have actually to take or implement whatever I'm trying to say you here. But why in my words or the words I'm trying to explain you right now, this trade didn't work?
I didn't wait for confirmation.
And confirmation is
A range. So this might be confirmation here. This is definitely confirmation. A better entry might have been on this side.
exactly. Exactly. The idea was right. The idea was absolutely right. But you didn't wait for the price action to put you confirmation. In this case, or in this scenario, the confirmation would be a good looking range. I mean, you didn't have to trade this, obviously, but if you were to trade this, the ideal entry was your exit,
Yeah.
basically. Because at your entry right there, you have no confirmation. Like the price action doesn't uh, haven't put a kind of resistance or support,
Mm.
so you don't have like information. And a lack of information is a lack of confirmation. Then probably it is not an A plus trade.
Yeah.
So for example, that's a good that and the second trade are good examples about, hey, wait, the market probably is gonna give you a confirmation for your entry point. And basically, I would be longing your exit. That would be my long entry. And why is that? I mean, you did. I mean, we didn't have like a high time frame analysis or something to get long there. It actually could be a red rather than a blue. So absolutely keep going. Sorry, keep going to the downside. I don't know if you can see the messages here in the
Yeah.
voice chat. Go to the one screenshot I sent you at 10:26.
Okay.
So you see that I mark a kind of reversal in the 30-second.
Yeah.
So that would be like a support, quote unquote, to my idea of actually going long at that point. Because if I found resistance and we are in a kind of higher time frame reversal, I may want to be in this particular spot because I want to keep, take the micro range in my advantage to take the reclaim left to the upside. Plus, I'm agreeing, quote unquote, with a possible reversal in the 30-second chart. And it actually play out, I think.
Yeah.
In the 30-second chart, I see that we broke to the upside with quite a force.
Yeah.
So yeah, it worked out. So yeah, so for example, wait a little bit more for confirmation. I would say that in this particular trade. And the next one. Okay, that one was beautiful, beautiful. But again, you see that there is a possible reverse
Yeah.
because yeah, we have like this uptrend, and then we broke the tendency, quote unquote. We are just starting to range. We are putting like a lot of top ticks. We are no longer able to keep going with the trend.
Yeah.
So we are starting to range, and that for me, that would mean that I can go short at the top of this range, and start trying to take more trades to the downside. And this reversal in particular, obviously this is hindsight, but in this particular reversal was very beautiful because it was a extended range. It was not a short one like maybe in the first trade, but this one was actually a large one. So you could play the range like you did, but my my trades in this kind of situation would be looking to take advantage not only about the mean, but also about the possible reversal. So I always want to be short at the top, even though I can play the mean to actually go long at the bottom. But I don't want to, or I would be more resistant to do it because of the possible reversal. Oh no, is that made sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes sense. Yeah, the words you're telling me make sense, but again, it's hard for my brain to trade against a trend because this looks like a pretty clear trend in my eyes. It's
yeah,
hard
absolutely. But for example, if you draw a line for the upside and the price action do not follow that line, for me, we are in a possible reversal zone. And yeah, I mean, that happened basically all day long. You can draw another one to the downside, like try to draw another one, a downtrend line. Yeah. Yeah, you see the price? The price, went like off from the trajectory of the line of the downtrend, right?
Yeah. Like right.
And we have range, right?
Yeah.
So we may be in a reversal situation also there.
Yeah.
You see, the trend could be clear, but the most recent price action is telling you maybe a different story. Like, hey, I don't want to keep going
Hmm.
to the downside. I may want to start ranging, accept this price, and then boom, reverse.
Yeah.
And-
How's it going?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm trying just to explain like my quote unquote system to this environment, to him.
yeah. I want to nail down this edge.
And for example, then you can draw, right? Also a line to the upside from here. Well,
Are you
more to the right.
posting pictures? Are you posting, or is it in the video?
It's in the video.
Your video?
Yeah, my live stream.
The take the line, but draw it from when it actually starts. Yeah. You see that the price is actually like also like putting a range, right?
Down here?
No, to the upside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. It's also putting a range, right?
Yeah.
And Vodka actually made that question, like, is it going to be a reversal again? And it's hard to me to explain when it could be or when it couldn't be because it's nuances. But a good rule of thumb is actually like if it is a perfect like a square rectangle micro range, it is more a blue, so it's a range before actually keep going, than a reversal. Because a reversal, we are putting, if we are is a reversal to the downside, we are putting lower highs, and if it's a reversal to the upside, we are putting higher lows. And we are not, quote unquote, doing that here. So if we're not clearly doing like, you know, lower highs or higher lows, then for me at least it's more than a blue. And I believe I say that to Fat Cat, and he actually played like that. I mean, it's obviously hindsight, cherry picking, but at the same time was a good example about it. Like sometimes it's a reversal, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Like you can compare the two price actions here. You can compare the price action from the first reversal, where is your break even. You can compare the second reversal, which is this down here, and you compare the blue. So it is different. It tastes different. I don't know how to explain that, but yeah, it's different.
Okay.
But also, so and at the same time, we have a clue from the 30-second chart, which is basically that we are in a kind of reversal, but in the higher quote unquote high time frame, which is the 30-second chart that I show you before you.
Yeah.
So that like this might be a blue, but at the same time we are compressing to the upside. Okay, I'd rather be long here than going to the short because I've built a narrative around this price action.
Yeah.
So I have the 30-second chart that is telling me maybe we'll keep going to the upside from 32 all the way up to 52 because it's a reversal in the 30-second chart. And at the same time here in the 3-second chart, we have a blue. So, okay, I may want to go long rather than go short because this doesn't seem like a reversal anymore. It is not as clear as a reversal like the two ones that are before. So yeah, I think that were all the trades you took today.
I think so, right? Oh no, there's one more break even here.
Okay.
Shitty execution. I tried to get out of it.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, you were too greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only mistake you made because apart from that, it is perfect trading.
Yeah.
I mean, you nailed the bottom, you nailed the micro range, like you are in a range, so you are trading in a valid zone. You have everything. The problem is that you didn't like take what the market gave you at the first pop.
Yeah, I think at this point in the session I was experiencing contentment issues, and I just wanted to make it all back. Like I wanted to get back to break even, and I wasn't looking for the world out of it, but I wanted like 6 or 7 ticks out of it. But even 6 or 7 ticks is too greedy.
Yeah, I mean, in that specific moment, it was, you know,
Yeah.
especially because you need to bound roll a little bit.
Yeah.
But something curious is that, okay, obviously it is because Fat Cat told you not to trade anymore,
Hmm.
and obviously you have to hear him, listen to him. But imagine that you were not in a drawdown or something. Where could be a re-enter here?
Definitely this range right here.
Exactly. And why is that? Because first we are respecting the range, right?
Yeah.
Second, we are putting resistance, so odds are you are not going to suffer from a slip entry. Why? Because odds are the price is not going lower. If you have resistance, odds are the price is not going to go lower.
Hmm.
So you can trade this going long, having certainty a little bit, 80% or something, that the price is going to respect the micro range and probable trade the other way, the other way, to the top of the range. And you see that micro range that you just told me, it is 100 times better than your prior entry.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because it lasts longer. So the price has accepted it more. And at the same time, if you zoom in a little bit, you can see that the price is putting lower highs. Sorry, see? Lower highs. You see?
Yeah.
You know, the next bar is one tick to the upside. The next bar is another tick to the upside. And the range is lasting longer. So that for me is beautiful confirmation to go long and take the reclaim left behind from the first the move to the downside.
Hmm.
And at the same time, exactly, and at the same time, I have this kind of confirmation that we are compressing to take the reversal in the 30-second chart. So all that together made me, I mean, would have made me confidence into actually trading all this range to the upside. We are in the bottom to the upside. We are in the bottom to the upside. We are in the bottom to the upside, to the upside, to the upside. Scalping 4 ticks, 4 ticks, 4 ticks. I mean, obviously that's the ideal situation and it doesn't correspond 100% with the real situation.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, that would be like eh, what I would be looking for in this kind of situation.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so if you want, we can go to your chart and sim trade a little bit. Okay. So if you have a 30-second chart up, sorry, up, you can see that we have an uptrend all the way down from 28 and to this point, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, we have liquidity pools here at 56, 57, which is basically the resistance from the prior move.
Hmm.
So there are two scenarios here. Or we cross that liquidity pool with force, or we just reverse to the downside.
Hmm.
But we don't have confirmation to keep going to the downside yet. So the first thesis is the one that is quote unquote in control right now. Like we at least in the 30-second chart, we didn't have like a pullback or a decent pullback yet to say, okay, we may be in a reversal to the downside and we may be going all the way down to 42 or something. So here I would be more inclined to be long, trying to be with the price action to attack the liquidity pool at 56. Usually, I've noticed that in these kind of environments, the price action is at least attacking or at least top ticking those liquidity pools. So if we attack 56, we may have a little spike to the upside all the way to 57 or 58. So I want to take that into my advantage. So I would be looking here. This is a decent looking range. I would be trying to go long. Yeah, I would be trying to go long here, 51 something. yeah, I could be taking that out for that pop. Are you in?
No, I haven't gotten filled yet.
Okay. Yeah, let's wait. So yeah, that would be like a good looking range to keep going to the upside,
Mm-hmm.
because it's resistance. So if it is resistance and the price is not anymore going to the downside, you have a slip entry. And if you have a slip entry, worst case scenario, you have a break even or at least some tick wins.
Yeah.
So that's really important for me, and that's the reason I'm so obsessed with micro ranges, resistance, and we might have here a resistance and then go to the other side, reversals, blah blah blah. Because resistance means a slip entry, and a slip entry is the core of my edge. Okay, let's wait here because it's compressing to the downside. If we respect this micro range, we might have a good looking long for at least more than 2 points, I would say. The problem is that we need to have a good looking range before actually going long, because here, yes, you have a micro range to the left side, but at the same time the price is compressing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there are like a lot of nuances to actually like nail your entries. So okay, here the compression actually happened. So we have liquidity pools, or at least what I understand for liquidity pools, we have them at 48, 47, more or less around that zone. So we want to see how the price action is reacting to those liquidity pools before actually doing whatever, because this as well, it could be the mean or the support and resistance zone to actually go to with the reversal, but at the same time it could be a red. So we need to wait until we have a clear differentiation from a downtrend to a micro range, which is what happened before.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the other reversals. So what do we want to see here? If you can go to the messages.
All right.
Let me just do it here. We want to see a range being built here, and the price respecting that zone. Look. So for example, if this was about to be, the reversal to the upside, what I want to see a clear differentiation. I want the price action to build price action to the right, in this case, obviously, to the right of the downtrend move. Like building a inverse flag, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you imagine the states flag, you see that you have the stick, right? The metal stick.
Yeah.
And then the flag itself. Well, you can imagine some sort of that. It's basically what I want here. I want the stick. The stick is the downtrend channel, right? And the flag is whatever price action is being built to the right.
Okay.
So I want the price action respecting this, and at the same time putting what? Putting micro ranges, putting higher lows. I want price action giving me confirmation, and this one is actually a good one. I would be looking to enter here 46 something, and this is a really good situation. I mean, I would be trading this even for some ticks. Yeah. I'll be more aggressive. I'm 47.25. Okay, it's gone. Yeah, that one was beautiful, man. Why is that? Let me show you here with the flame shot. Why is that? Because I have price action being built to the right of the channel. Look. I had price action being built to the right of the channel.
Okay.
And the channel is no longer going, or is no longer keep going to the outside or to the downside, whatever
Yeah.
the move is. So you see,
Yeah.
That was a clear reversal. Like the price stopped going to the downside, and then we build price action in a micro range format or type to the right
Hmm.
of the stick, and then we are pushing to the highs again. And this is another good lesson because this could be basically a situation like the second trade you took today. Okay, I have the information, I have confirmation, I'm going long 51.25. Okay, wait, hold on. Let the price action pull back. Let the price action pull back and put another range before you go again to the upside.
Hmm.
Or maybe you are super clear and the momentum is there. Yes, you can go long here, give it a shot, whatever. But usually it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So here, for example, let's wait. Let's see if the price action pull back a little bit. If it pull backs all the way down to 51 something and it start putting a micro range, could be a good confirmation to actually go to the long side again. And why I'm trying to go long here, I'm trying to tell you that you should be looking for longs is basically because the quote unquote high time frame idea. It is that we may be attacking the 56, 57 liquidity pools. So the price action tends to, like I told you, cross those liquidity pools, at least it's going to top tick them
Hmm.
for 3 or 4 ticks. So look, this may be the pullback that we want to take. Okay, it's stalling. Let's wait for confirmation because we yet don't have one. Okay, it's looking good. Long where I couldn't catch that. But yeah, my ideal entry would be 51.75. 51.75 would be my ideal entry. I would be getting out for tick win or something.
Hmm.
So the confirmation was like the stalling, quote unquote, the micro range. It is super nuanced, and Yuki told me the other day it is not the sleep range, sleep entry. And yes, you kinda can argue that. Like, yes, it is not, but at the same time, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It depends how you use it. So hold on. Here we have something curious. You see, when we try to go long, the price action didn't go all the way through to 54.
Yeah.
So we reject the reclaims to the upside, right?
Yeah.
So that could mean that we may see a sleep range or a reversal to the downside.
Hmm.
So this is kind of, is here is the price action is not so clear. So better wait. But I'm going just to test this micro range, that the one that we are putting right here. I'm trying to get fill 50.25. Touch no fill. I'm gonna move it one tick up. 50. Okay, I'm long here. This could fail absolutely, but it's worth the shot here. Because it is basically the same situation we saw before, and we weren't able to take it.
Hmm.
Okay, I may be trying to get the exit because we are, trying to take more reclaims to the downside than to the upside. But okay, price action is not looking so bad. I may actually want to try to go for, I would say, pointer. It's good enough here. Pointer, I'm trying to get out 51.50. This is stalling too much. But I see it, and I have confidence that I can get my pointer. Yeah, I would say even more than a pointer could be. Obviously, that depends of how your bankroll is, right?
Yeah.
If you are down, I mean, you will be taking 2 ticks here or 3 ticks before. But if it doesn't have problems, like holding a little bit more, this is actually a good spot to be. Obviously, that will depend. I just took the long here. Let's see if it works or not. Even 52 doesn't seem that bad. Obviously, it could be 100% brawn. I mean, I don't have 100% accuracy. And yeah, the price action seems that it's going to compress the downside, maybe trying to go all the way down to 48 or something. So I'm gonna cut it for 1 tick loss here. Okay, no fill. Okay. I took the 3 tick loss, but now with that confirmation, I want to go short. I want to go short because that was like failed, like the fail in the prior trade is now the confirmation for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I know that doesn't work that way for you, but yeah, I mean, sometimes like the information that a loss gave to me, like actually being wrong, could mean that I can translate that into being right the next time I trade. So I'm short at 49. Let's see, because obviously, again, could be wrong. And basically, this is a hard spot to be also, in the sense that we are waiting for FOMC, or
Mm-hmm.
what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the type of environment where you want to go for reversal
Yeah.
breakouts.
Fed interest rate decision. Yeah. So obviously, it's gonna be a range environment. Even the decision is like in 1 hour, or it's right now. I don't know.
I think it's in 30 minutes.
Yeah. So also hard spot to be, trading.
Yeah, it all makes sense to me though, man. It's clicking a little more than it was earlier. I'm also recording all this. I want to watch it back later and really try to internalize that information.
Yeah, mate. Because to be honest with you, I think that the only part, because I don't think it's your psychology, the one that is affecting you the most. I really don't believe that. At least now, because obviously I'm not the one that is with you all the times you trade. It's Vicat and Yuki, but like at first glance, doesn't seem like your psychology is the first or the most critical aspect.
No, I don't think it's the first either. I think the poor trading and the poor technicals and like the poor execution feeds the psychology, and they
exactly my thoughts. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, because I was seeing you and I was okay. Why he didn't wait for his sleep entry, or why he didn't re-enter here, or why this, why that? But all that was related to actually technicals.
Yeah.
At least today. I mean, obviously I could be wrong, and Fakat knows more about this.
I don't know. I didn't see enough of his trading.
Okay.
To know where he fucked up.
But yeah, Chronic. I mean, my honest opinion. Okay, I was still short when we were talking, and I took a 60 win. Short 49.
You would have held to that bullshit?
No. No. Absolutely not. It doesn't look that bad if you go to the top like 50-51s. But okay, taking recentering the what I was trying to explain you, Chronic. Basically, yeah, man. I mean, I really felt like the technicals was, at least today, the real problem for you.
Yeah,
and
me too.
To be more specific, maybe entries were like the big problem, because you were sometimes short, trying to get a short idea, but you didn't short the top of the range, or you didn't long the top of the micro range, and all that put you against the sleep, and against sleep obviously force you, because I also trade like you. When we are not with the sleep favor, the moment the sleep obviously pull back and we are down 4 ticks, five ticks in that trade, because we didn't wait for a sleep entry, we start to quote unquote control, what's the word for that, like controlling the losses. We start to start thinking about cutting the trade. We
Yeah.
start thinking about cutting the trade. And why is that? Basically because we don't have a sleep entry. But because if we had a sleep entry, we would be like maybe more comfortable holding a little bit more. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like some ticks in drawdown, yes, it might be a loser, it might be a winner, but I did everything in my hand that I could possibly do to actually try to nail a good execution of my edge. If it doesn't work, then it's variance, it's luck, it's statistics. Doesn't mean that you are a bad trader. But if you didn't wait until you had like good sleep entry, then obviously it is a technical issue.
Yeah, I'm not waiting for enough confirmation.
I would say that's the main problem that I saw in your trading today. Because it's psychologically speaking, you are tough, man. Like, I don't feel psychology is your biggest issue. I would say is the technical part. And obviously, when you perform not so good, it obviously affects your mind.
Yeah, yeah, and it just it snowballs and it gets
Yeah,
worse.
yeah.
But yeah, my stats have been taking a hit, man. Like my win rate is dog shit right now. My average risk to reward, like my average loss is like 4 times as big as my average win.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the lack of edge is compounding to the downside. It's
Yeah, but it
making
is
it
not
worse.
because your ideas are wrong, man.
Yeah,
It is
I
not
had
because your
good
ideas are
ideas
not.
today, but I just couldn't fucking execute on them.
Exactly, man. It is not. It is not edge properly talking. It is not edge. It is the execution of the edge. What I think is killing you, man.
Yeah.
And look, I'm gonna screenshot something. This is the 30-second chart. Remember when I was talking to you that we may be in a reversal again? Like, remember that I told you that we had two scenarios here, or we attack 56 liquidity,
Yeah.
or we go on a reversal all the way down to a 42.
Yeah.
Look, it was just look the
Yeah.
Fed. It is the same. It is exactly the same. And you can have two reversals here. The one that I was talking to you before, which is this first one, and then you have another one that is the new one. I'm gonna screenshot it and have it to you. This is also a 30-second chart. So yeah, I don't know why, but reversals have been working so far. Obviously, the circumstances can change. But
Yeah,
how is
we kind of focused on going for a lot of breakout. Conic, I think.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's a fucking trend. You want to fade it when it's fadeable. You want to break out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like I don't know.
So
It's like I try to get mean favor or slip favor, but it's not really the fucking slip favor, and I'm just clicking the button. I'm not waiting for the confirmation. I'm like, oh, I have slip favor, but like, why do you have slip favor? Can you actually identify why you have slip favor? Is price respecting that slip favor, or are you just fucking clicking a button?
yeah, exactly, man. Is the
Well, hey,
price
man.
reflection?
When FLMC kicks in, I think you should take a break from trading for like a week, and we're just gonna drill you getting slip favor for a week. I can't have you trade anymore. I want you to stop. Let's get that habit on point. It's time to do drills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, if the account flounders for fucking 3 months or whatever, it doesn't matter. We just don't want to be blown.
Yeah.
Let's just we'll drill. I'm gonna go get some vegetable juice. How much time do you have?
I don't have any time. I gotta get going. Yeah. And then tomorrow, I work the morning, so I might be on to trade the close, but we'll have to see.
Well, you're gonna drill tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I have to. I need to nail this shit down, and I need to stop thinking about the fucking account.
So whatever we did yesterday didn't work.
I mean, I felt like it worked, but today was a real fucking test of that contentment. Real fucking test.
Currently, what type of account you have with TFD? You don't have the static one, right?
Technically I do now, because once you get past a certain point, it switches to static. So right now it is my liquidation level is 0. If I get to $0 profit, it blows the account.
Where you at?
Like 400.
Okay.
Could be lower than that.
Because-
Actually, I haven't checked it after today.
Okay. Because maybe, I don't know if you can try to switch that, or maybe, next time you use TFD, try to use the static one. Because, I mean, it was fortune that we with FatCat created the TFD account in the last day of the promotion. So I got the static account for the same price compared to the end of the day drawdown. That has helped me a lot psychologically, because no matter how big the win are or whatever, like my drawdown is not moving. So for example, the account right now it's sitting almost at 1500,
Mm-hmm.
and my drawdown is 2200 more or less.
Yeah.
So because the drawdown is static, I effectively have not 2200, but around almost 4 Gs of drawdown, almost.
Yeah.
So I've gave myself room to be wrong and not be anxious about it. I mean, obviously it was pure luck, man. But when I think that my good performance this week and last week has given me more room to breathe, like it has added like 3 more days, more or less, no, almost 4 days of you being like stupid and being an absolute degen about trading. It obviously has released pressure in this account, because I no longer, even though that's the ideal, obviously, but I know deep in my mind that I'm no longer restrained to just 5, if I'm not mistaken, stop outs, each one of 450. I
Yeah.
now effectively have doubled that almost to having 10 stop outs. So, man, that is super, super
Check your
helpful.
account real quick, Chronic.
You want me to pull it up?
I have to obviously pivot somehow.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of contentment issues with the and it's from my old fucking Apex gambling addiction, where every time there's a sale or something, it just makes me want to reset, and it's not good. I don't want to think like that.
Yeah.
So
Obviously, it is not.
I've got.
Yeah, you're not blown.
Did he cut out? I think you cut out mid-sentence, Fat Cat.
Yeah.
Let me switch this over here so he can see it.
But wait, you can go all the way down to 12? 1200?
I can go all the way down to 0. So this is no longer accurate. That was what it was at the beginning. That was my trailing drawdown. But after I made that much profit, it stops at 0. So I went
Okay, so
all the way up here, and I was at like 2,700 or something.
Okay.
It stopped at 0. But now I'm coming all the way back down, and it's still at 0. It's stopped there.
okay.
Where you at?
I'm-
I can't see it.
I've got to pull that up on the stream. You might be cutting in and out, like your service might be bad or something. Because you were
He's
talking,
sitting at-
you were talking for a second, but you cut out.
Yeah, he's sitting at 350. I mean, that's weird. And TFD told you that it's not going to be anymore 1250?
No, they confirmed that because that was my original. So my starting balance was 0, my target was 2,200, and my minimum
300.
balance. Yeah,
I drill for a week. Like I need you to be drilling. You're gonna drill for a week, and then we'll see how good you are, and then like just you're not trading that account until we get you figured out here.
yeah,
Like we need a week of you just being with Sim Trade or some shit.
yeah,
Because you can grow this in one fucking day
yeah, easily.
at this point. We can't have that. I can't have that monkey kick in and go fuck it, because that's not good.
Yeah,
Because if you do that, I'm gonna have to bench you for a quarter.
yeah,
And if you gotta get out of that on a fucking micro, then that's what's gonna have to happen.
yeah.
We can't. I mean, just trading's hard, man, and we're gonna try to figure it out. But we need a drill, man. There's no sense in blowing this fucking thing out.
Yeah.
But when you open your account, you choose a end of the day drawdown?
Yeah, I chose end of day drawdown, but it stopped trailing at a certain amount of profit.
Yeah, when you reach 1250.
Yeah,
Basically.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, because it was moving with you, so it couldn't go further than 0.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, if you want to do to team trade and drill, next week I'm available Tuesday to Friday in the morning after I'm done trading, because yeah, I just can't talk and trade at the same time like you.
yeah,
That's a superpower, man. So if you want, and if you want my assistance or my point of view on the sim trading and the drillings, yeah, I'm here for you, buddy.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I need it,
Absolutely. Okay.
but I
Hey, guys.
gotta take my mind off trading for a bit. I gotta go fuck off and do something else.
Yeah. I mean, if you get going to uni.
Yeah,
So take care. Take care, Chronic. Take care, Packet.
yeah. I'll talk to you later, man. I'll see you
Yeah.
guys.
See you.